So Softbank have sold the last of their Nvidia shares as of the news that we received overnight. I thought this would be a great opportunity to just talk about Nvidia directly, because this is obviously the epicenter of my world, and it has been since I was an analyst on this company in 2012, and I've obviously followed it every single day since. And a lot of you have a lot of interaction with me in the comments section of TikTok. 95% of it is positive and fantastic, and a lot of it's, that's just the nature of the beast. But I just thought it'd be a good opportunity to us to talk directly about my history with Nvidia and my thoughts on Nvidia. As some of you keep pointing out, Nvidia. So there's about 3 different ways that one can pronounce Nvidia. I can guarantee you that I know how to pronounce the company and everything about them, because I've studied them for a long, long time. So first and foremost, Masayoshi-san, who is obviously the big boy running SoftBank, has made hundreds of investments over the years. Some have been good, some have been bad. It's kind of a scattergun approach a lot of the time. One of the most famously bad decisions he made was selling a lot of his Nvidia shares a few years back. Jensen Huang pointed this out when they had a meeting the other day, that he would actually be the largest shareholder of Nvidia if he'd held on to them. However, he didn't, and he had a few left and he sold them. So there's getting a lot of headlines today, and it might have something to do with a small amount of selling pre-market, but it's irrelevant. But it is a moment to take pause and to think about what's going on with Nvidia and what the future holds for them. Now listen, let me be crystal clear. I have loved this company along with AMD since 2013, right? I followed them the whole way through their journey, through GPUs for gaming, into where we are, which is where they've developed their chips, GPUs, to run the most complex and high-powered AI models in the world. There is no question that they are a high-quality company. Not only are they growing fast, the top line, but they're growing the bottom line as well. On a growth-adjusted basis, they're trading on about 30 times forward earnings, which puts them in the same valuation category as Microsoft, but with much higher growth. Make of that what you will with regard to Microsoft, but let's talk about Nvidia. This company has had the ChatGPT moment for them, which is when they were very expensive, and then suddenly overnight the top and bottom line exploded to the upside and justified the entire valuation, which is precisely the argument I keep having about Palantir. When is that moment going to happen for them? No one can answer that question, and it seems like almost impossible that that's going to happen. We'll leave that subject to one side. The only thing about Nvidia which concerns me is the competition part of the equation. We'll see how the technology develops over the coming years, but that's all guesswork. What is not guesswork is that these guys now have legitimate competitors in the GPU-accelerator business, which is the epicenter of their profit center, which is running the large language models. AMD have long been the only competitor in the GPU space, and recently they have had a few big wins. OpenAI, the most notable of them, proving that their technology in the GPU accelerator space is up to spec. So they've got one competitor in AMD. They've got one competitor in Qualcomm. Qualcomm are one of the smartest companies in the world. If anyone can come up with a GPU accelerator to compete, it will probably be them. And then, of course, you've got Broadcom and a few others nipping at the heels. My question is that they've got 92% market share in GPU accelerator business. What are the chances of them holding on to that market share over the next 3 or 4 years? I would say almost zero. So therefore, is that growth rate at Nvidia going to be able to maintain itself so that they can maintain their high quality status and the valuation and the levels where they are? I don't know the answer to that question. I have some question marks over it. I won't be chasing them into earnings. If they have a big sell-off, there's probably a couple of years left in this story. So I will have a go at them. But for the time being, there's a lot of food for thought. There's better companies with higher growth profiles that earlier on in the stage of maturity than Nvidia. Full respect to Nvidia, but I think it's worth noting where we are in the competitive landscape.